Here we are. Ladies and gentlemen, top right-hand corner. For Alpha X, it's Astrea. And the bottom left, it's Kaizi Gaming's Time. So yeah, I know I did just list off, you know, how Time hasn't lost a TVP in, you know, like 3 weeks, and also has been on a 77% win rate in the last 2 months. Absolutely insane. What's really interesting, though, is that Astrea, historically, this is just since 2019. I mean, if you take out those matches from 2019 and you just count from 2020 upwards, Astrea has only lost 1 match to Time, and that was a all-kill format in the O Gaming Nation Wars. So Time just got 1 win. Other than that, it has been 2-1 Astrea, 2-0 Astrea, 4-1 Astrea, 4-0 Astrea, 2-1 Astrea. He's actually surprisingly had Time's number and won a lot. And that's, you know, surprising considering the Time has been beating like almost everybody. He's been beating a lot of people. He's been doing really, really well. And so, you know, I think that just goes to show that there are some matchups for Astrea where it feels like he just has an amazing read on the style of the player. And I think that does somewhat come down to how Time plays. I mean, you're going to be seeing a very heavy focus on these timing attacks. You know, I feel like, what's the best comparison I can make? I don't know if comparing Time to Beyond is even fair. I think their styles are still very different. You know, Beyond has a very specific style that he plays, and that's not the same. Even if you're an aggressive player and you work on timing attacks, does not mean that you're playing the same as Beyond, or you're playing the same style. So, but I would hearken it to a similar playstyle. And we're seeing that here. It's actually Factory before Command Center. This has been a more common opening on the Terran side in this matchup, just because, hey, it's really nice to have this Factory out. Excuse me. It's really nice to have this Factory out sooner. No matter what you decide to do with it, it almost always is going to be useful. And so you can get out a faster Cyclone. As you can see here, Time is actually getting out a Hellion. This can be used for scouting. If you get more Hellions, you can of course try and dive into the natural, get some probe kills. But overall, the faster Factory actually gives a lot more agency to the Terran and what they want to do in the game. And we've seen a lot of players do it. I know Beyond consistently does this opening. So despite saying that I'm not going to make a Beyond comparison, yes, they both do the same opening. That's just this game, though. We'll see if that stays consistent. But Phoenix is on the way for Astrea, and obviously, off the Stargate, the Phoenix has been the less popular option recently. Ooh, that's a supply block. Ay. Yeah, that hurts just a little bit for Time. You were kind of hoping that wasn't gonna be the case. That should be enough of an indication that that's a real Phoenix. Time sees that doesn't take the additional damage that the hallucinations take, and so should be completely in the know that, hey, that is an actual Phoenix. That's what my opponent is going. I like this little push here by Time. I mean, it's such an interesting group of units. As the Phoenix, the micro, not really what Astrea wanted. Luckily, he's not going to lose it. Was close. There's a pylon there to try and complete that wall off. Charge is going to be the first choice, and look at this. It's actually Marines into the main. I think this is a really smart move here by Time, because guess what? The Phoenixes are in the main because they thought that's where the Hellions were going to go, and now the Marines are going to be able to pressure. You have to bring the Adepts up, and the Hellions now trying to pressure that wall. The full wall, though, just coming through that pylon. So clutch as Adepts are going to start to go down. Marines doing their darndest here to micro this. It's not going to be enough. Astrea just handled this extremely well. I mean, the Adepts into the main were such a good idea. Is that wall not wide enough for the Hellions to get in? That's incredible. That is an incredible wall off. Oh my. What? No, wait. That's not allowed. That's insane. That wall was just thin enough that the Hellions could not get in, but but the zealots could squeeze their way through. So I don't think that Stalker could make it through that wall. That's incredibly specific there from Astrea. Guys, yeah, he holds that wonderfully. Even the Marines up in the main, not quite doing the trick. Really shutting down what Time was trying to do, but now 2 tech labs have been swapped off. We're going to be getting stim and combat shields underway here for Time. It's going to be a very delayed timing attack, though. So usually, with the stim and combat shields, you can hit actually at around 6:45 to 7 minutes if you really want to. But obviously that's going to be just a little bit delayed here. These upgrades are coming through with the +1. It's going to be immediately up to 5 racks for Time, which is not surprising. He's not just going to stick with 3. He's going to try and get up a very, very strong bio army with his +1. And yeah, is really just going to be looking for this timing attack. I mean, there's no third command center, and obviously this is, again, very similar to this style that you've been seeing players like Beyond also play, where it's a lot of heavy pressure with the bio, you know, trying to pressure that third, find damage with a drop, maybe in the main behind it, and then you eventually take your third base once you've established yourself out on the map. Right now, though, Time does need, time to build up. Right now, it's 49 workers to 61. Even with mules, that income, not quite what you'd like as the Terran. It does bring it pretty much to even, I would say. Or at least as close as you can get it right now for Time. Yeah, it's so many charge lots here from Astrea, and it's such an interesting style to go so heavy on the charge lots. Especially because right now it's actually Widow Mines for Time. It's 2 Widow Mines at a time. This is... oh, it's going to be a long day. But, I mean, he's got 2 Widow Mines being produced. And so, you know, with the reactored factory, it is interesting. A lot of players, I think, do end up going for tanks. As, ooh, my. Very nice pickoffs here by Astrea. It does take 1 big Widow Mine connection, but it's going to be able to get rid of a lot of Marines. Now looking for that mineral line, but missile turret is there. Recall has to be popped. 2 of the Phoenix are going to be left behind. I believe those Widow Mines have been uprooted. Now be brought along for the ride. +2/+2 on the way here for Astrea. It is so many zealots. Oh, it's so many zealots. It is just a ridiculous amount of zealots here for Astrea right now. 94 supply. And look at this flank as all the zealots from the front, but Time is just taking the fight straight up. He says, listen, I don't care about your flank. I'm just going to fight the brunt of it as best I can. And actually, he's chewing through these zealots pretty well. It is 1-1 versus just the +1 of Time, and it looks like he may have to evac as the zealots are starting to come on in. Retreat up into the main base, and well, there's actually not much here. The medevacs are going to be able to fully unload. Pylon is going to go down. We're going to start to see those workers be targeted. I mean, pylons maybe are going to be next. 6 probes go down. Very nicely done here by Time, at least finding something. Some value out of this. Medevac is going to retreat. Is going to try and unload. He'll be able to do so. But I think that's more value than maybe Time could have hoped for, is at least finding some trades back, getting that work count a little bit lower. But mind you, this is the 4th base for Astrea. There's still no 3rd for Time. This is, I mean, I don't know. Do you pull the boys? I feel like you pull the boys. I don't know if there's many other choices here right now for the Terran, aside from just pulling the workers. The mines are here. It's a big army that's being, put together here for Time right now. He has a 30 supply. It's quite a big difference here. But Colossus are out. There's 1 Colossus so far. 2nd one has just been produced. As, yeah, here we go. Here's the SCVs, but Time, it's a bit of a rough position. You need to try and get those Marines out. We'll be able to with the medevacs. but needs to find a better angle here. Not afford just to go from 1, but now from 2. SCV's going on in. Here we go. Time trying to knock down the 4th, trying to see if he can somehow pull out a win in this game, as his work count is dropping drastically, but he's sniped off a lot of the Zealots already. Being able to clean up those ones before the Widowmine shots go off. Disruptor shot. Oh, the wonderful targeting from Time. Gonna be able to stop that Disruptor from going off. Widowmine's doing their damage, but now up into the main. The Doom drop here from Time, trying to work around this army of his opponent. And he has to make it work. I mean, he pulled the SCVs. His economy is in shambles. Right now, this is all that he has. Oh, his recall being put. Oh, the cancel on the recall. The Colossus aren't going to be able to come on up, and they don't really have a walk path. It's been blocked off by Astrea with his own Sim City. And somehow, Time, how are you making this work? Stargate is going to go down. Talons are going to start to be focused. More and more Warpins coming through. Another group of Marines there at the bottom of the map, as somehow Time is making this work. He's just going to get on out. I mean, he's found so much damage, and now back to this 4th base. Has more and more units coming on in. This is incredible. I mean, the Nexus is just going to get focused, and then we should see the Medivacs pick up and get out. I don't believe there's Blink just yet, as the focus fire on the Disruptor is good. The Colossus, though, just does so much damage. I think Time overstayed his welcome, as now this is starting to become a losing fight. GG, it was not enough. Astrea pulls out the win, but man, Time put up a fight. Time did not go down without making it close. I'm trying to remember. I believe that... Man, dude, the last time that all kill was used was in 2016? What? What? No way. That makes me feel old. Man. Oh, that's such a... I'm getting... okay, I was looking at the all-kill format because I wanted to know that, but yeah, the loser does pick the map. Anyway, I was... throwbacks there. I was looking at the all-kill format. That is... It's something that hasn't been used in a while, obviously, because it is a bit hard. When you have... Obviously... Not a lot of teams that have enough players to really field a regular all-kill format. Obviously, back in the time when it was used, very, very exciting. I remember a lot of different tournaments using that format. But the WTL is a very special kind of version of it that I think works very, very well for the current, for kind of the current status of StarCraft 2 teams. Look at this here. Time, Proxy Reaper. It's just gonna be floating that barracks back, and again, you know, it's waterfall. This map, this is what happens. Is when you play this map. Thank you for selecting the follow. But yeah, it's a very small map, so you can afford to do this, where you just kind of have that barracks a little bit out on the map. It's nothing crazy. It's nothing that's gonna, you know, be a super heavy committal for Time, but he gets that Reaper out. Wasn't able to get the probe kill, but obviously that's what you want to threaten, ideally. And now it's just kind of a regular transition for Time. Trying to throw Astrea off a little bit. Widowmine's on the way. It's going to be a Widowmine drop in 5 minutes. This is just about as standard as a standard gets. Actually, it's going to be even before 5 minutes. This is a very, very quick Widowmine drop here for Time. There is no expansion behind this. There is no additional base. This is heavy, heavy committal to this pressure. That command center, it was being built in the main. It's going to float over very, very late. Astrea already going to be setting up 6 workers, and so for Time, you're really relying on this drop finding damage. And I think in most cases, it actually probably should. That blink, it's not going to be done. Even an armory behind this, that means, what that means is that we get the fun of this being continued Widowmine drops potentially, or Time is trying to line this up so that he does have cloak. That robotics facility is not done yet. That observer is going to need to be chrono boosted out for Astrea. And yeah, that armory, it looks like it's going to finish up just as this drop gets across the map. So nice timing here for Time. One of mine is actually dropped off here. And I wonder if that's just going to be walked over to the 3rd base location. No, it's just going to be burrowed out front. But here we go. Widowmine's into the main. Astrea, where's the reaction, is going to be able to do so. That cloak is done. Rebro there. Going to be able to pick off a second probe. That Widowmine will be left. Observer now going to need to be chrono boosted out. It should be finished up in time for the first Widowmine. I don't believe... Yeah, the second one got away into medevac, so that one will be able to come back in and try and find some damage. Reaper going to be able to pick off that probe, making the third. Widowmine. Snipes Stalker is now going to be picked off. Honestly, I would have loved to see if Time had committed more to the Widowmine drops. I remember there was a time where Bunny... Do you guys remember when Bunny was doing this build? Wasn't Maru. It was Maru. Remember when Maru was doing Reactor to Factory? Like, he was going... No, triple Factory Widowmine drops. You remember that? Remember that baller move by Maru? Oh my god. I want to see that again. I want to see Factory first before Command Center into Widowmine drops into a second Factory. 3 Widowmines at a time. Just pumping cloaked Widowmine drops. That was... Gosh, that was... What a time to see that. And then, I mean, yeah, there's been a lot of crazy Terran builds. I think this one, on the scale of how crazy Terran harass and pressure can get, is pretty standard. You know, this is a build that people will pull out as their opener every so often in a TVP series. And obviously for Time, if you want to try and find that early damage and find some success, as Recall is going to need to be used here by Astrea, so that's very, very nice for Time. Forces those Stalkers back, means that he has all of the lenience in the world to do what he wants back at home. And that's going to be +1, stim, combat shields, you know, the usual gist of it. And it's going to be a very, very similar build for Time here. It's going to be Widowmine's going to get some medevacs out. He's going to be looking for this push. This time, though, it should hit right around 7 minutes. And again, with that very short rush distance on this map, if Time really wants to, and honestly, I don't see a reason why he wouldn't push out here, especially considering that you're not going to be having those strong robotics facility units for Astrea. Really, the big threat to that 6:45 timing on that move out is the fact that, hey, you know, Colossus kind of just knock it down. You can't really do much. If there are Colossus out, you're not going to have much success. Disruptors as well. But that's not what's happening. It's actually a Storm that's being researched, and it's just a lot of charge lots here from Astrea. And so this timing is actually not going to be that bad. Now, the tanks are a bit worrisome. Obviously, I think you'd like to have a few more Widowmines with this. But right now, Time is just trying to maybe apply a little bit of pressure, force a response out of Astrea. Very nice pick off there on the Observer. It's third command center on the way, so it's not, you know, 2 base all in here from Time, which is always great to see. As, ooh, Banshee just narrowly escapes. Oh, High Templar on the way. I mean, Storm is finished up, so you got to be careful. And there we go. Storm's going to go down. Widowmine's going to get low. Second Storm to finish them off. The tank's now burrowing forward. That's a lot of Storm energy off of Astrea's units. This Time pulls the trigger. Forces a cancel there on the 4th. Already more successful than the previous game. But look at this run by. Oh my, Astrea. I mean, this isn't even a run by. This is just a full-on committal to pressure as these Zealots are getting on into natural, and there's so many of them. I mean, that's more than half of Astrea's army across the map. The SCV pull is good, though. Only 8 SCVs are going to go down. The rest of the army, though, has to be pulled back for Time. He can't keep up the pressure. The Zealots will eventually be cleaned up. Supply depot gets low, but the repair is going to be used. Oh my god. So early. Apologies for that. That pause, I was yawning and stretching. But here we go, third base going down for Time. Ghosts are already on the way, and it's a perfect, I mean, early Ghost is exactly what you need against this style that Astrea is playing. The Ghost shuts down the Zealot, it shuts down the High Templar. it is just so useful. Behind this, Astrea is going to be going into double robotics facility with the Robo Bay, but mind you, that's not going to be up for a while. Right now, the plan is, you know, I attack you with ground units and you die. That's the plan. But the ghosts are here. You have those EMPs available right now. I mean, yeah, this is a very entrenched position. I do not know how you push into this as Astrea, and I think Astrea agrees right now, just focusing on getting up this fourth nexus, saturating it, and trying to get this macro lead. Yeah, Time's position in this game is just so much better. It's just so much better. By here trying to force something there, gets a storm, and is a fairly valuable bit of energy to get, especially as this match goes on. Astrea with a scan there is going to get a pretty good idea of what the energy is on all those High Templar. But concussive shell +2, enhanced shockwaves, everything coming through here for both these players. The 1-1 has finished up for Astrea. He's starting on his +2 upgrades as well. There is going to be a gap where we have time here. Up and upgrade, and obviously that can actually be quite a difference maker if we see Time move out, and that's exactly what's happening. Time has full knowledge of the fact that Zealot run by is positioned on the left side of the map. He's actually going to pull around here to try and deal with these Zealots. Just committing on in. EMPs go down. Those first few High Templar are out of energy. 2 more left, though. The storms are going to whip wide as the Archons are morphed, and Astrea still waiting on that extended thermal lance. Can't really force anything until that upgrade comes through. Disruptor's on the way, as that was a bit of a jump. Wait, whoa, what? Okay. Yep. Okay, that just happened. That's just. That just happened in the WTL VOD. I think there was actually, the reason why the latency happened was because that was actually on their side, and that's why we see that jump right there. That's where the buffering happened on their end. So yeah, a little explanation. Apologies about that. That doesn't happen usually, but hey, sometimes you get little hiccups as High Templar here doesn't actually have energy, is just going to get sniped. Dark Templar are an option here for Astrea. Shadow Stride on the way. Oh, Graviton boosters? What? The Observer speed upgrade, or Warp Prism speed upgrade. Storm gonna snipe off a few bio units. Uh-oh, what is this? Disruptor is caught out. One is gonna go down. Time being Astrea being a bit lucky that he didn't have more there. As once again, Astrea positioning forward. Storm goes wide. EMP knocks down the rest of the energy on that High Templar, and a snipe should be able to finish it off. No, they just chase it down. But Time going up to 8 racks. Now has Vikings in production. Should be getting Liberators as well fairly shortly as, oh, Disruptor shot. Gets a good chunk of that bio, but we're going to see the base go down as wonderful static defense here by Time. Just stops that run by from really doing anything, and the 5th Nexus has fallen. Some more and more Disruptors on the way. Astrea, really? Do you like this? I don't think you do. There's so much here for Time. I mean, it's 2-2 bio, it's a tank, it's Widow Mines. You got the Ghost as well, and now the Viking's gonna fly in as the EMPs just coat everything. Massive EMP connections. And Time thinks that he can force it. Can't run up into the Disruptors, though. They're just a little bit too scary. Massive Zealot run by coming through here for Astrea. The bunker just goes down so quickly, but that's so many Zealots committed. You can't fight the front here with that many Zealots being committed to that pressure or to that counterattack. Time not going to be losing any workers. Not really going to be falling behind at all, and just absorbing this pressure. This is extremely well done by Time in this game. He's played it out very, very well at that. So another Nexus is going to be canceled here. Disruptors clean up those Widow Mines, but Time right now working on 4 bases, going for a 5th. And I mean, once this Terran gets to 5 bases, it's such a hard position for the Protoss, as Time has full information that this is happening. What? Look at how many Disruptors Astrea has. What could possibly be the use for so many Disruptors? Look at this flank, though. Oh, Time setting up for it, but at the same time, Planetary Fortress is going to go down. Splits try and come through. Disruption Nova's going to miss the Ghosts. Second one, oh, going to hit so many of these units, as a few of the Disruptors are going to fall. So many are going to fall with that recall. But look at the Zealot run by. Bases are going to start to go down. Repair onto the command center as bio units try and come forward. So many SCVs falling, though, as Astrea, with a massive counterattack, is going to be able to knock down 2 command centers. He's going to be able to find so much damage, push himself into a supply lead. And that was the move that Astrea needed. I mean, all the Disruptors on the left flank, pulls the entire army over there, and then with the counterattack with the Dark Templars and the Zealots, finds the damage. I mean, this is the style that, like, we saw. I mean, I remember Parting was first doing this, and it was so insane how he was trying to find counterattacks with these groups of Zealots and Dark Templar. But man, Astrea is using it well. It's just such a fine balance that you have to play. You saw there, even with the recall, if it's just a little bit late, you lose so much of your army when Time commits across the map. The Raiders repositioning in Time. 3 of them being produced. I think I have to imagine that. Yeah, there we go. 4. I was gonna say there's no reason why you have a tech lab on one of those starports. Getting out a good Liberator count is going to be key here for Time. Just being able to siege up every single position. Cells try and go in, but there's a Liberator there. Can't commit in. They don't want to just give up their life for something that's really not going to find that much value. And right now, Time, of course, working on that 5th base once again. It's 5 Nexuses for his opponent, working on its 6th. So Time does need to match that. Command Center going to try and float on out, but it's a massive Stalker Ball here. Can't commit into it. Oh, my Time. He's going to go for it. I mean, from 2 angles. The splits are good so far. Managing to dodge a lot of the Purification Novas, but still, there's just so many Disruptors. As Time forces Astrea back, he's going to try and siege up this position. There's so many cannons, but he's just going to sim on through. I mean, look how many Liberators there are here for Time. The cannons are going to fall. The army can't commit in for Astrea with that many Liberators. That means that the 5th base is going to go down, but look at the massive train of Zealots on Time's side of the map, and that's a huge Purification Nova, as there's a chorus of screams from the bio. The Liberator's going to do their absolute darnest steer to try and hold on for Time, but Astrea just committing across the map, going to go for those worker kills. The issue is that base, it just does not have a lot of, I mean, workers still on it. It's only got 5 mineral patches? And now look at this. Time is just committing up the ramp. I mean, the Liberators are going to reposition. It's another base going down. Liberators need to siege up, though. Purification Nova goes up. Time was addressing issues back across the map. Finally going to get the siege that's going to allow him to retreat. And 21 SCVs have fallen, but mind you, behind this, I mean, the base didn't go down. Nexuses have been lost. Command centers are still alive. You're still seeing Mules. Time is taking a 5th base. And these Disruptors are trying to get back into the main, but this army is just so immobile for Astrea, as now we're going to start to see gateways go down. Another counterattack here by Astrea into the 3rd base of Time, and it's just getting absolutely crazy. Astrea, he's going for the cleanup. Purification Novas, the pickups come through in time. The medevacs are going to be able to get out as the Liberators get sniped, and it looks like one is going to survive, but Time is also hitting the 6th base of Astrea. The recall is popped to try and survive. The 3rd command center goes down. The recall goes through, as Time now trying to set up a contain onto the natural base. And Time now going to start to knock down the gateways. Purification Nova comes out. He has to back on out. This game is so scrappy. And it's all for Astrea to try and get his team up 2-0. But look at this surround coming in for Astrea. The pickup has to come through. And Astrea is up 30 supplies. Oh my! The Stalkers, Astrea catches it on the retreat. Just has units all over the map. 82 supply of Protoss. There's still a good amount of bio. It's still 3-3. It's still so strong, but now we're starting to see Astrea reposition. He's going to be able to knock down this base, and this is one of 2 mining bases that Time has left. The command center is going to fall, and you see just a sigh here from Time. I mean, this game has been so close. He's just so much damage. The fact that he wasn't able to snipe that next, look how close it was. It was in the red hit points. Just couldn't quite make it work out, and now this is the last chance of Doom drop here for Time. No, just gonna try and cancel his base. I think that's the right call. Feedbacks go down, not enough for a storm. The rest of the army coming on through. Time has to be careful to develop purification of it. He just whiffs, goes wide, but I think it snipes the ghost. And look at this counterattack coming through. Yeah. I mean, Astrea just has so much. 104 supply of Protoss. Bases are going to go down. Command centers are going to fall. There's going to be no more scans. There's going to be no more mules. Time has managed to stop the mining there at that base with the Liberators, and he's trying to bring the rest of his army in. Maybe look for a sandwich here. Look for a surround. EMP trying to reveal a lot of these Dark Templars. He's going to be able to get rid of all of them. Going to be able to focus a lot of this army down. The Archon goes down. Time still. He's still in it. He's still fighting. The fact that this base can't mine, I mean, he's just going to reposition. He's just going to make sure that those Liberators are completely out of range of Stalkers. And Astrea, this is like his 1 mining base left. This is a massive move by Time. 1 Liberator in range here, but so many Stalkers are going to be knocked down. The other one still not in range. Oh, this is so well done by Time. The supplies are even up. How is he doing this? I mean, this is just absolutely insane. Purification Novas going out. There's just too many. Time, he's coming on in. He knows he needs to do it. He does so. A lot of the Disruptors go down. Purification Novas aren't going to hit as well as they need to, but Storms go down. And there's just so much Protoss. A lot of the Terran supply is caught up in the medevacs in the sky. They're trying to heal through the Stalker damage. They're trying their best, but it's not going to be enough. 1 medevac is going to escape. But Time, there is just not a lot of mining left. There's not a lot of units left in this game. He's going to knock down a pylon. The Dark Templar, another pylon going to go down, but counterattack comes through, and this is the last mining base. If this goes down, there's nothing left. I mean, that's it for Time. This is his last base, and he's getting rid of the production, though. There's nothing left here for Astrea. This is Astrea's army is all caught up in this, but Time is out of money. Time says GG. Astrea in an absolutely scrappy game is going to be able to pull out the 2-0. And man, I have not seen something like that in a while. That is a style that is so damn good. And man, Time made that close too. Insane game.